What's going on, folks? This is your boy Dino, aka Solid 5, and welcome to Beyond the Ether podcast. Today we have a special guest, and this is Nikola Wright. All
Hello.
right. Hello. How goes it?
All going fine, thank you very much.
Yeah, you seem very, very busy,
Yes, thankfully. Can't complain.
right?
Well,
Um,
I can complain, but I won't complain. I've got no reason
yeah,
to.
yeah. Sometimes it gets overwhelming, and you just kind of want to break. So,
Uh,
uh, so I wanted to start off. Let's go back a little further, instead of talking about the current stuff. So what got you inspired to start acting?
oh my goodness, you're really going back. Well, my mum was an actress. Not that she really was when I was born. I think she'd sort of put it to bed a bit once she had me, but she'd been an actor for about 10, 12 years.
Okay.
And so all her friends were, well, not all her friends, but many of her friends were in the business. And she took me to the theatre from a very young age. She sort of immersed me quite in the world that she obviously still loved. So to me, that was as a little girl, I wanted to be an actress as well.
Gotcha.
And I sort of banged on to my dad, who was not a part of this world, that I wanted to do that. And he said, well, you need to complete your education first, love. You're not going to stage school yet. So as soon as I could at 16, I went to drama school.
Okay. And so I'm assuming you did a lot of theater, like around that time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually haven't. The last play I did was just before COVID. Obviously, COVID then shut everything down for quite a while, and I haven't done a play since. But up until then, I still probably tried to do a play most every year almost.
Okay.
I like, I love theatre and telefilm, radio, all of it I've done over the years.
Yeah, I love the idea of just acting in general, but I just never did it myself. So I'll just watch the movies.
Yeah, well, that I do that as well.
Do you have any fun theater stories, like something that like went wrong during, like something that really stands out?
I'm sure there are many. I do remember I did a tour when I was quite young of Peter Pan playing Wendy. And there was, when they make you fly, they literally jump off a big ladder and like you've got these pulleys and up you go. And then there's a line that sends you around. But there was one time when I was flying back through the window and the pulley got jammed and basically I just literally splatted
Oh no.
into the window and then just like slithered down behind, and then I had to get on, somebody ran and unharnessed me, and then I had to climb over. So that wasn't too good,
Yeah,
but
that's embarrassing to say the least, right?
embarrassing, exactly. Luckily not too winded, I managed to carry on.
That's good. Yeah, you got to rally, right?
Yeah, you got to.
Um, so after theater, you started getting gigs, right? I mean, not after
I
theater, but
did.
after school.
I was very lucky when I went straight. I left drama school probably just before the end of my final term because I'd got a job in a theatre company, which is what we call weekly rep. Don't really have it anymore, where you were rehearsing. You were doing a new play every week, basically. So you'd
Okay.
rehearse in the day, and then in the evening you were playing another play. So it was non-stop,
That
round and
sounds
round in a
exhausting.
circle. Exhausting, but very good training. Yeah,
Mm.
very, very good.
Um, something that really stuck out to me on the on your IMDb was Jupiter Moon. Um, I wanted to kind of dive into that a little bit because I got to see the first episode. Um,
Mm.
yeah, but I didn't get to because I kind of heard about it back in the day. Like I forgot how, but I knew the existence.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was when I was younger, and I was not able to really, get a hold of it. Um, uh, so what was your experience on that? Like, how was that?
Well, I absolutely loved Jupiter Moon. I mean, quality of the production might not be, it was what it is. It's a sci-fi soap.
Mm.
And it was made we did 150 episodes of it. So we did it for a year, 3 episodes a week. And it was set in 2050, and this was back in the sort of late 80s. And it was a new, I don't know if you remember, if anybody remembers, but when they bought out, when Sky's dish came out at the same time, there was BSB that had the square reel. Do you remember that? Maybe
No,
not.
no.
So it was a bit like Betamax and VHS, and
Okay.
in the end, VHS won out. Well, in the end,
Right.
obviously with Rupert Murdoch, Sky won out. But when they started, they were both starting at the same point. And so Jupiter Moon was BSB's flagship soap, and it
Okay.
was on at 6 o'clock every night, um, and obviously repeating because we did these 3 episodes a week. So it must have been on 3 times a week, but with a repeat on Sunday. I think that's what it was. Um, and it was about a group of, it was a university orbiting the Jupiter system. So the characters were
Right.
either the students or the teachers and professors and the people who could fly the ship, the captain, and then various people that we met along the way, like space pirates or people on Callisto in the cafe or whatever. So yeah, it was a just joyous, really. There were some great actors in it who've gone on to be pretty well known, but also just a very bonding because we were all quite young and you're living away. We were in Birmingham, which is probably about 100 odd miles from where I live. So we lived up in Birmingham and yeah, just all bonded. And I'm still great friends with a couple of them
Oh,
still.
good. I was just gonna ask you about that, like, because I know, like, or at least I've heard that some actors just kind of do the job and they just kind of, leave. So I was just kind of wondering if there's a, bonding experience with, especially with that one,
Yeah, I
since
think
you're with the
very,
same
if
crew.
you're on something for a long time, I think you do. And I think because when you're younger, you do. Because
Right.
I don't know what it is, you're still gathering friends and then you get to an age where you think, oh, unless you really are close to somebody, you probably
Right.
just, and also we didn't have social network. Now I think the trouble is because of social networking, yes, it's a good thing, but it means that people go, oh, we'll just, well, okay, so we'll exchange Facebook or Instagram, and
Right.
then you stay friends, but you don't really stay friends because you don't actually make the effort to see each other. You just have a window in each other's lives. Whereas prior to that, if you're friends, you had to make an effort. You had to phone them up on the
Yeah.
landline, and then you made an arrangement to see them, or you'd have an actual phone conversation, not a text. So I think those
Right.
friendships were much deeper.
Um, and so, like, I guess we'll just kind of jump fast forward to current. I mean, you've had such an array of characters and roles throughout time. So
Hmm.
like with the involvement in the Puniverse, like
Yeah.
how has that been so far? Because I know you've been a couple of different characters. Like I know you've been like the reporter on Winnie the Pooh, and then also on Neverland, or Peter Pan. So like how has that ride been for you so far?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I obviously worked with Scott and Reese, Scott in particular, many, many times prior
Okay.
to this, and also Reese and Vince, our DOP. So I knew the team very well. Um, he'd asked me about Bambi first, and then it got put back. And then when Winnie 2 came along, and they were, because I've never seen Winnie 1, but Winnie 2 Scott was now going to be in as a Christopher Robin, and we had talked prior to this about trying to find an opportunity where I could play his mum because we're very close friends,
Okay.
and so he asked me to be Daphne Robin, which is Winnie 2. Um, and he'd talked to me about Peter Pan, but they didn't want me to have a big role in Peter Pan because of having the character of Daphne. So the reporter in Peter Pan, that character, I am still Daphne because the events take place before Winnie 2
Oh,
in the
okay.
timeline. So my day job as my mum, I am a mum, but my day job is that I'm a reporter, which is how
Okay.
I was able to report on Peter Pan.
Hmm. I
But
just
then
I
Mary is different.
Okay, because I just well, I'm at the closing credits of Peter Pan, I just watched it and I'm like, wow, this movie's something. It's like I was very shocked on like, sort of like the in a good way.
Good.
How it turned out and like just the twist of the story and, you know, Peter Pan
Yeah.
being just a psychopath. I absolutely loved
I
it, honestly.
I loved it. I mean, like I said, in a non-horror way, I played Wendy for about 6 months, I think it was. And I love the story of Peter Pan. As I grew up, that was the story that I used to get my dad to read me over and over again when you're a child. So Peter
Right.
Pan's always been the closest to me as a story because I think it is dark anyway.
Yeah.
It was a, you know, an obvious one to turn into a dark horror because, when you think about a little boy coming in or a boy creeping in at night into somebody's bedroom and taking the
Kid.
children away, even in the best will in the world, it is a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's a little suspect. Yeah, it's funny because I saw there was like they had like this online they had this like thing of like what do you call it um uh it was basically like a bunch of conspiracy theories, right? So like one of them was like how Peter Pan's actually the bad guy and Captain Hook's the good guy, because like Peter Pan steals the children, takes them to an unknown place, and Hook's just trying to save them to take them back basically, because
Hmm.
they're all kidnapped children. They're just taken without will.
Yeah.
Um, so
Well, of
Bambi, like,
course, in the story, in the whenever it's done on stage, which isn't very much now, to be honest, because it
mhm.
became more turned into a pantomime, which is different. But Captain Hook was always played Mr. Darling as a sort of a look at because it was obviously set in sort of Victorian times then, and with this very strict parents that the dad would be sort of you don't speak unless you're spoken to and tick off and then he becomes Hook whenever it's done as a stage play.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about the story, so it's just I mean just the very
Ah,
like cliff notes of it, but yeah, I don't know, like I never actually read the original story of it, so I'm very curious on like,
oh,
the
it's
difference
great.
between
I love
yeah,
it. But
the
I've told you that.
because I know like, Disney kind of butchers like a lot of the original stories, to make it more child friendly. But I know there's so much more to most of these stories,
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
know of. So, um, so how was it with the whole Bambi film? Like, were you having fun doing that?
Yeah, so Bambi is a sort of more contained, I feel like a more contained story because it's using an element of the Disney, just a tiny element, and then it's free to do its own thing. And a part of the crew, I'd worked with the crew before, a lot
Okay.
of them, but I hadn't worked with any of the actors. Roxanne is an absolute delight. We got on really well, and we spend a lot of the time together, along with my mainly the Tom, who plays one of the grandchildren, but then there's also Joseph, who plays my other grandson. Um, so yeah, it was a very happy time. It was a very cold time, but company-wise, we bonded.
Where did you guys film that at?
So we filmed in January last year, 24, and we filmed in three different places.
Hmm.
All the woods are actually the same woods as they used for Winnie.
Oh, okay.
Um, it's down sort of near the southern coast, inland a bit, but again, away. But these woods are privately owned, and so the guy who owns them lets you blow up a car or turn a car over, whatever needs to be done. They're
Right.
private, so you can do what you want. And there's a great big barn, and that's where the lair of Pooh's cave is.
Okay.
It's actually there. The set is still there for that.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Um, so that was that part. Then we filmed obviously the house, the nice big house that's my house. That was somewhere else. There was a third location. I can't remember what that was used for, but yeah, we had three different locations.
Um, so up to date, like what's been your favorite role so far, and as far as everything?
Ooh, that's a hard one. There's a film I did about 3 years ago, where it was based on a true story. Um, the writer's grandmother had been involved. Well, actually, her husband was killed during the terrorist attack on the beach in Tunisia back in 2015. And the film follows her journey and bereavement, really. So I really got a lot out of playing that. I mean, I'm never off screen. It's totally her story, and it's quite unusual to have a
Mm.
film where an older female is the lead, and watching that sort of grief and bereavement and post-traumatic stress. I do quite like playing small and truthful, even though I've
Okay.
done a lot of horror when I'm screaming and shouting. I do, I do, I like for myself being quite real. And this was very raw and emotional. So, of more recent roles, I really liked that one.
Mm. Um, yeah, it's harder to do by myself. Okay. So, I guess like while you're kind of unwinding, what's your favorite thing to do outside of acting?
Traveling,
What is that?
traveling. I mean, I love my family. My family is,
Yeah.
yep, but give me a few days off if I could, because obviously having Europe on our doorstep, we are quite blessed with being able to go somewhere quite different quite cheaply. So if I can be planning my next trip, that's always will make me happy. I'm not really interested in material things. I like experiences
Yeah.
more.
I, I f- yeah, I definitely agree with that. I like to kind of check out places and whatnot.
Yeah, do something
Um,
different.
yeah. Because I'm just so tired of everything just the same every day, working, etc. So kind of borderline same question, but like when you are just kind of like at home, just relaxing, winding down, like what is the thing you do that kind of turns off your brain that, like favorite TV show, read, write?
Well, I'm not very good at relaxing, as anyone who knows me will
Hmm.
say. I will literally keep going until I've flopped. So I suppose when I flop, then it would be watching a TV series. I like, what have I liked recently? We just watched one called The Veil with Elizabeth Moss. I like to be, whether it's Succession, I thought was fantastic. There's such good TV, but also I do have a monthly card which gives me unlimited use of the cinema. So
Oh,
I go to the cinema at least once a week. And if there was another, I mean, I'll probably go twice this week before I'm going on holiday at the weekend. So I'll probably squeeze in two. And I went on, when did I go? Sunday, I saw Weapons. So yeah, the cinema is, I mean, that's kind of work and play because I think I should be going to the cinema anyway.
yeah,
Um, and the good thing about having an unlimited card is I'll go and see anything. So sometimes I'll see something which I would never want to, in my head, pay for. The
right.
fact is, I have paid for it. But I'll see things that I wouldn't have done if I had to fork out. And then sometimes I'm happily surprised, and sometimes I think, no, I actually don't like those types of films.
So here, what was your take on weapons? Because I heard a couple of different things.
Well, I liked it, but
Okay.
I liked it a lot. The people I was with that night, two of them found it too long and
Mm,
didn't like the keep repeating and seeing it from another angle. I was totally engrossed and I really did enjoy it. It's kind of like lots of sections of plays that then all weave together. It's not scary horror. It's you haven't seen it yet?
no, I want to now because I've heard so many different things about it. So
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit more, I think, intelligent horror, if
right.
that's the right word. I mean, I loved Bring Her Back. I saw that last week as well.
I
I thought
missed
that was
that in theaters. Yeah.
that's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, she's great as well. Sally Hawkins really good in it. So yeah, because there's I do, and I love 28 Years Later as well for recent horrors, but then there's been a whole load that I've thought been really poor. So
Hmm. Um, here, I just saw. Here's a just a off-put question, not an off-put question, but as far as like comedy goes, did you watch Naked Gun yet? The remake, or not the remake?
I
The
did.
yeah. How was your take on? Not too much for you.
Well, no, I feel really bad because I did work with the Zuckers many years ago. I did Top Secret,
Okay,
which,
I
and
saw. I
then
saw. Yeah.
so that they wrote, obviously they wrote Naked Gun and Police Squad and Airplane, and I just think I it's not that part of me thought, oh, have we moved on so much that it's not the humor that we found funny, but I just think the writing was not as funny as the
Okay.
Zuckers would have done. I just think it tried very hard, but
Yeah.
somehow missed a bit. And I love Liam Neeson, I do, but I think someone like Steve Carell might have been funnier. Somebody
Yeah.
needs to have funny bones for those, and you can't. It's just I don't know. I thought Pamela Anderson was great. She was really funny.
Yeah. I was kind of like I don't know. Liam Nielsen like he's like oddly funny to me, where it's like I mean that's kind of the trope of it, right? Of
Yeah, because he's
yeah.
never normally like that. So I
Right.
suppose that sort of, and I like that he did it. That he was,
Right.
yeah, I did, but I just it fell short for me, and I was a bit disappointed. I didn't
Uh,
sit there laughing. I just sat
right.
there poker
There was
faced.
there was a lot of moments where I was kind of like, yeah, but overall, I still enjoyed it as much as I could. Um, so as far as like horror goes, like, do you have any like a favorite I don't know uh like Chucky or like Nightmare on like are any of those like any your favorites like the classics?
Halloween, probably of the
Okay.
classics. Yeah, I loved. I mean, I suppose ones that have got a great soundtrack, which obviously
Mm.
Carpenter does. I think The Exorcist was probably the first one I saw when I was very young that made me like, oh God, what is
Yeah.
this? And that I still think stands up today. And I love the practical effects of it. I love the
Mhm.
music. I like that it's a good, solid drama script with horror, as opposed to the umpteen exorcist type, remakes of an exorcism film. I just think that one still stands as one of the best of those. Um,
Did you watch
I
the
like,
last one they did? The last
yes,
exorcism? Yeah.
yeah, I can't even remember it. It just did. Oh, it was the two, wasn't it? The children. Oh, it was
Yeah,
awful.
it was yeah, the boy and the
Yeah,
girl, yeah.
no,
I know.
yeah.
I was just kind of sitting there like, all right, well, what's gonna happen?
The
Um,
trouble is with exorcism films, and I've been in an exorcism, but there is only you can't. What can you do? An exorcism film it was done brilliantly that one time, and Rosemary's Baby to a certain extent is a bit. There was another one. There was another early one. I can't remember what it was, but ever since then, I feel they're just all trying. There's nothing different about them,
right. Yeah,
because
I
there is
agree.
only one outcome. You try and do the exorcism, you try and get the devil out, and that's it. And you have the
Mhm.
same old rising from the bed or rising from the ground or
And sometimes it's just too late to kind of just try to resurrect that, kind of feeling. So, in my opinion, we just saw a movie
yeah, I don't
recently.
which one.
Um, I'm just saying in general, like I feel like they should have just kind of left that,
I agree.
genre, right?
And to be
Oh,
honest, that's what I think has been really, for whatever people say positive or negative about the whole Puniverse and Twisted Childhood, it's given a new spin for a
yeah.
horror genre, which we yeah, I mean, whether it runs its course at some point or whether it keeps going and getting bigger with other companies, I don't know. but it has given us another type of horror.
Exactly. I mean, especially like I was saying, Peter Pan, that was a
Mm,
totally different take on it, and
yeah, it's really good.
I was pleased. I was like, wow, Peter Pan is just a psychopath. You
Yeah,
know, um,
yeah,
it kind of makes you wonder, like, is he actually seeing those things or whatnot? But
exactly. I feel like Peter Pan, you'd come away if you went with somebody, or even if somebody just seen it, and you could talk a lot about elements of that story.
yeah. Um, so when do we expect to see? Are we expecting to see Puniverse by next year?
No, I think filming next year.
Filming next year?
So,
Okay.
yeah, so you wouldn't see it. I think they're planning on Winnie 3 and Poohniverse for next year,
Oh, got it.
with
Okay.
Winnie 3 probably being filmed before. I don't know. I mean, but yeah, that as far as I know, they'll be the two, which means then you're looking at 27 before release.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense.
You've got
Yeah, for some
Pinocchio
reason.
before then. I'm not in
Oh,
that, but
right.
you've got that one
Okay.
still to come. That's
Awesome.
filmed and done.
Um, and then so we have Pinocchio, Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan. Who else is supposed to be in the
Bambi. So in the
the
Puniverse, those are your one. You'll have, yeah, Winnie and the characters in Winnie, Pinocchio as a baddie, Bambi and Peter Pan, and then the goodies that are left from the goodies, the humans,
the final gals and
the
and
final and Christopher Robin, and yeah,
all right. Well, I'm excited to see those. I know it's gonna be some time, but we'll get there.
yeah.
Anything else coming up from you in the future?
Well, I'm doing a TV series at the moment, so that will be, but I don't know whether you get that in the States.
Probably not.
And then I am doing something else which I can't talk about in September. Just done a horror film which is a nun one.
I
A
saw
nun.
you. Yeah, I was gonna start watching that, but I ran out of time. And I was trying to find what do you call it? Humpty Dumpty. Um,
Ah, The Curse of
but
Humpty Dumpty. That's a good
yeah,
film.
but
Yeah, that was
it's not on Amazon. It's like I was trying to watch it, but it's not available to
not a free
watch.
one. Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah. I think actually I do think Humpty for one of the smaller budget ones is pretty solid.
sometimes that's how it works out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I was trying to do this with my buddy, but I kind of
Well, it's
was.
just us. That's all right, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
His loss,
Um,
eh?
yeah, I think we got plenty out of it in the small run that we had. But so I appreciate your time.
That's a
I'm gonna wrap
pleasure.
this up a little early, but I'm so glad that you came on and blessed us with your presence. Um, I hope
It's a
this
pleasure
this whole
anytime. And if,
yeah.
when you see Bambi, let me know what you think. I'm seeing it for the first time next week, so
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it as
absolutely
soon as I'm available to
to
get my
watch
hands
it.
on it. Yeah, and I'll let you know. Yeah. So again, thanks for stopping on. Stepping in and checking this
Pleasure.
out.
All right.
Uh, I'll be seeing you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.